I ask everybody watching, no matter who you voted for, was this chaos around our country before Donald Trump became president? No. He ran saying he wanted to make us more safe, make our communities more peaceful, but he's done the exact opposite and has scapegoated immigrants to tell you that they're the reason why you can't afford your rent. Immigrants have nothing to do with the reason you can't afford your rent or why you need 2 jobs or why you can't afford to send your kids to school. It has to do with the massive influx of wealth inequality in this country, billionaires and corporations that have been running the show for generations. We can't let politicians like Donald Trump pit us against one another, especially in Orlando and in Central Florida. We are an immigrant-filled community. We are a community filled of people. And yes, people are going to have different statuses. And to my Republican colleagues who say, I don't want any undocumented people in this country, I actually agree with you. So let's document every single one of them with a speedy path to citizenship. That's how we fix this problem. But this terror campaign of having masked people rolling up in vans, unmarked vans, grabbing students off of the street, trying to go into elementary school graduations, saying they're going to go into churches and rip people from the church pew as they pray, to put them in a facility where their family can't even find them, where their lawyer can't even find them, not knowing where they're at, how they're doing, what the conditions are, and then the one day to wake up and find out that your mother, that your father was sent to another country. And in many cases, sent to a foreign gulag, like in El Salvador. This is the reality of this nation right now and what's going on. And it's disgusting. It's not what our country is about. It's not what our country should be about. And so I'm proud to be here with advocates, organizers, lawyers, people who are fighting against this, to say we all deserve to feel safe in this country. We know we have a broken immigration system, so let's fix it. Instead of punishing those in this country, many of whom who have been our neighbors and been Americans for decades. For decades. We know we have an issue to fix here, but this cruelty is not the answer. This terrorism on our communities is not the answer. And so today, I'm very proud to be introducing the Stop Unlawful Detention and End Mistreatment Act, otherwise known as the SUDAM Act. This bill is a step towards pulling back the curtain on our immigration detention system and shining a light on what's happening in the shadows right now. The SUDAM Act would require ICE-operated and ICE-affiliated facilities, including private and local jails, contracting with ICE, to publicly report who is being detained, where they're being detained, when they've been detained, and why, the legal justification and evidence behind every single detention, facility demographics, age, nationality, legal status, and the data on use of force, disciplinary actions, transfers, and deportation. This bill, to be clear, does not fix the entire problem, but the purpose of it is to give tools to the legal community, to advocates, to organizers, and more importantly, to families to know what's going on with their loved ones. I just want to bring this up again because we have people, I just heard of a case, someone who worked at Universal, employee of the month, employee of the year, someone who's been working there for a long time, a member of our community, who was snatched up, has been sent to 3 or 4 different facilities, and now is in Texas. The family having a hard time finding out where they're at, how they're doing, even speaking with them. It's disgusting. And so I'm proud to be introducing this legislation with people who are doing the work behind me in this community to keep our people safe. And we have to talk about the lawlessness of this administration. They said they wanted to arrest elected officials, then they arrested a mayor of New Jersey. Then they arrested one of my colleagues, LaMonica MacGyver, who is facing federal charges for simply exercising her legal ability to conduct oversight on an ICE facility. Then, I'm in an oversight hearing talking to 3 governors. I asked them, what do you do if Tom Homan sends ICE agents to go and arrest you? And 2 hours later, Senator Alex Padilla in California is thrown to the ground and handcuffed simply for asking Kristi Noem a question about what's going on in his own community. This is lawlessness. This is terrorizing our people, our communities, arresting your elected officials. And so everyone has to know that the things you see on TV, it's happening here. This stuff is happening in our community right now. And they want to make it even worse. And so the SUDAM Act is one part of a huge puzzle in making sure that we can have accountability for this agency, ICE, that is completely out of control. We saw just yesterday, the New York City Comptroller, Brad Lander, was walking somebody, a constituent, from an ICE hearing, or from a hearing, and he was arrested and taken to the ground simply for asking for where the warrant was. People at home have to know, even if you voted for Trump saying, yes, let's get people out who are undocumented, this and that, something else you also have to know is that Trump is actively working to make more people undocumented and rip away the legal status from more people in this country. Whether it's ripping away TPS, an extension that was lawfully given, and in my opinion, illegally ripped away from so many people. Whether it's the ripping away of the parole program that was put into place under the Joe Biden administration, pushed for and fought for by immigrant advocates and organizers. Or the most egregious case here, which is simply denying people the ability to claim asylum, which is the law of this land. And so, again, this is lawlessness that's taking over our communities, and everyone should know exactly what's going on. The last thing I'll say is, again, we have families that are losing loved ones, not being told where they're at, why they're being held, people living in this chaos, and it's taking over our country. And so I'm going to fight against it. We're going to all fight against it together. And this is really personal for me. You know, I'm the son of someone who came here as a Cuban refugee. I don't like to use my mom as a prop or anything, but she's even here, I think. Come over here. I know she's okay with it. I know she's okay with it. But just because she's here, I have to bring it up that my mom came here from Cuba as a refugee because our country said, come here, give me your poor, your tired masses yearning for freedom. That's how your congressman is a congressman right now, because she came here, because our country lived up to its promise. Sorry, Mama. And we love her. And we love her. So, look, the last thing I'll say is if you're proud of what you're doing, you shouldn't need to cover your face to do it.
That's it.
And so these ICE agents, and we're going to put a lot of energy behind attacking the Trump administration on this, but we also have to talk about the agents themselves that are carrying this out. If you have any decency, quit now. Go do something else. Because just doing what you were told has been the justification for some of the worst horrors and crimes against humanity in the history of not just this nation, but this world. And we're seeing this unfold right before us.